that is the end of NaNoWriMo for another year. Done. Finito. Finished. Well done to all of you who took part, whether you won or whether you didn't. But of course, extra congratulations to those people who did win, who smashed the 50k. Like I said in my last video, it is hard. It's an undertaking, so well done. Now the question is, now that you've sobered up or woken up or just simply got over the mind-bending stress that is NaNoWriMo, the question is, what now? So the first option is, of course, do you finish it? Is 50k finished to you? If it is, absolutely great, you can crack on. If it isn't, the first job is, of course, to finish whatever you're working on. Now once it's done, you've got a couple of options. Now you might have just been writing for the sake of it, and that's awesome. Writing a book is tough, and writing a book is a huge accomplishment. So whether you want to publish it or whether you just want to have a fat stack of paper sitting on your shelf and get to say, I wrote that, that's absolutely fine. But of course, many of you might actually want to publish. So let's say you've got that finished version and you want to publish. The first step, rule number one, is do a second draft, no matter what. The reason being is you'll still need a little bit of polishing going into either the self-publishing route or the traditionally published route. So let's think about traditional publishing, okay? So you want a publisher? First thing you need to do is find an agent. Now, agents are everywhere these days. It's not hard to find an agent. What might be hard is finding the right agent for you. So you want to find someone who, of course, works in your genre, who's taking submissions, or might have published books similar to yours in the past. So loosely speaking, what you want to do is do a bit of typing, do a bit of Googling, and build yourself a list of prospective agents. Then it's a simple yet not so simple matter of approaching those agents. Now the reason I say simple is usually what you have to do is to submit a manuscript, or maybe the first couple of chapters of your manuscript, a cover letter, and a synopsis. The reason I say not so simple is that cover letter and that synopsis are almost as hard as writing a book. What I'd recommend is spending a lot of time on your synopsis, making sure it's absolutely right, it completely sums up the book, doesn't waste any time, gets to the point, something that gives your prospective agent the perfect overview and encapsulation of your book. And yes, that does include the entire plot, even the cliffhangers, I know. For your cover letter, of course, personalize it, use that research that you did into the agents and make sure it's appropriate for them. Don't just send out a blanket, dear agent, please take my book to publishers, get me rich, please. It's not going to go down well. Then all you got to do is submit to the agent, and fingers crossed they'll get back to you, maybe want to represent you. That will all, of course, depend on the quality of your book. It's then a case of the agent taking your manuscript to publishers and trying to get you a deal. So again, fingers crossed for that stage. Now that can be a long process, so if you're up for getting your book out as quickly as possible, or you don't want to work with agents and publishers and you want to retain that creative control, that's where you've got self-publishing. Now the first step with self-publishing is, of course, to do that second or third draft that I mentioned. And from there, what you want to do is build your author team. The author team should be a team of professionals that's going to help you get from manuscript stage all the way to something you can actually sell on Amazon and all the other stores. The first person in your author team should be your editor. Most important indeed. Almost as important, if not as important, is your book cover designer. Then, of course, you're looking at a typesetter and a formatter for ebooks. Those last two could be the same person, but either way, that is the core of your author team. Working with these professionals, you'll be able to take your book through the editing stages, give it an amazing cover for ebook and paperback, and then make sure the interior looks as perfect as possible. And after that, you're ready to go directly to the stores and publish on places like Kindle Direct Publishing, Kobo Writing Life, iBooks, and of course, then you can also publish print-on-demand books via Ingram Spark. That pretty much is self-publishing, or at least the process of. Now, we had a golden rule, obviously, of the second and third draft for self-publishing. There's an even bigger golden rule, and that is whatever you do, okay, you have to make sure that the end product, okay, the product that your author team helps you create, is at the end of the day indistinguishable from a traditionally published book. So the test is you should be able to hold up your book next to a traditionally published book and not be able to tell the difference. If you've done that, you've done self-publishing right. Of course, there's a lot of nitty-gritty in between that, and so if you need any help with that, don't forget to come and see me. I run a self-publishing consultancy. It's called Shelf Help. You can just drop me a line and I can give you a hand. And of course, there are huge amounts of advice resources out there as well. Just do be careful about where you get that advice from, because there are some sources out there that will lead you astray. And there we have it. Those are your three main paths after NaNoWriMo. Of course, there are many different things you can do. You might be working on something really special for NaNoWriMo, so by all means, follow any other path that you want. But hopefully that gives you some advice and a little bit of direction if you've been wondering what to do now that you've completed NaNoWriMo. So congratulations again. I'm going to tip my hat to you, and have fun with the next steps. Good luck, and see you on the shelves.